filming a short called Psychology Now, where I'm going to answer general psychological questions that you may have as it relates to children, as it relates to family, as it relates to overall psychological health. I hope you enjoy. This is presented by the Stockton Therapy Network. Today I read an interesting article that stated that nearly 9% of American children are diagnosed and medicated for ADHD. That means literally 1 out of almost every 10 children that is seen by a mental health practitioner in this country is ultimately diagnosed with a mental disorder and placed upon pharmacological interventions. This is a serious problem, especially in light of what we're seeing with the recent opiate crisis that's going on. When is America going to wake up and realize that medication isn't the only answer for individuals that may have certain behavioral problems, whether it be acting out in class, whether it be lack of paying attention, or even the daydream has now been pathologized as something that is very childlike in nature, but also now abnormal for some reason. In the article from Psychology Today entitled Why French Kids Don't Have ADHD, an interesting parallel is drawn between the countries of France and the United States. As I mentioned earlier, in the U.S., nearly 1 out of every 10 children is diagnosed and ultimately medicated for ADHD meds, which literally we're pumping amphetamines into our children. In France, less than 0.5% of children are diagnosed and medicated for ADHD. Instead, what they're looking at is the social component of the problem. They're looking at dietary components of the problem. They're also looking at their psychosocial concerns that exacerbate the problems going on. And so the interesting part within this article is that it shows that why don't French kids have ADHD? Why is it such an American phenomenon? Are we just that overly stressed out? Or is it the fact that when I take a look at it, basically it's an aspect where Big Pharma is pumping a lot of amphetamines into our children to make money off of getting them high, because literally parents can be overly stressed as it relates to raising their children. Where is all this stress coming from? Well, is it coming from our children? I don't know. I don't think so. I'm a parent of 2 and thoroughly enjoy being with my children, working with my children, and seeing them grow into their own independent beings. However, having been a teacher in my former career, I also realized that there's a lot of stress in dealing with 30 to 40 children in a classroom. So is it a social problem, or is it the child who's actually engaging in childhood behaviors that are normal? Is it their problem? Last I looked, it was very normal and very encouraging to dream life forward. In fact, most of the greatest people within history had an uncommon tenacity to dream life forward, to engage in their dreams, to actively take part in what they were dreaming and make it become a reality. If it wasn't for that, a lot of what we have today would simply not exist. Everything, including what is now videotaping me, is actually a product of someone's dream at one time or another, and a lot of hard work and ingenuity to basically put this together. And so the moral of today's story, I think, instead of taking a look at pathologizing children for ADHD or other disorders, maybe we could take a look at fixing the systemic problem that's present. Why is it that we are so apt to turn to pharmaceuticals to calm a child down, pump amphetamines into their system to basically allow their body to catch up with their mind, yet we aren't willing to take a look at Maybe the overly stressed teacher that can't deal with 30 to 40 children at one given time. Why is it that we're so apt to try and medicate the problem away versus create real and lasting changes within the child, not put a band-aid on the problem, but actually work with them to create their own set of rules and structures around their problem, and not to really even see it as a problem in the first place, but to see it as a normal stage of childhood development and help them move through it to become successful in navigating their own life forward. I look forward to hearing from you and welcome any comments or shares that you may have. Also, I would welcome you to post your own questions, and I'd be happy to answer them. But please remember, as it relates to this vlog, it is only for general psychological questions, and this does not constitute any form of a therapeutic relationship. So until the next time we see each other again, remember to turn off, tune out, and drop in, and advance confidently in the direction of your dreams. Thank you.